Hello, Andrew.
Yeah. So, would you like to tell us about how your work connects with story and storytelling and the people the way that we tell stories?
It's a great question. Of course, you being the creator of the conference, that's the telling question, isn't it? My work has a few different dimensions to it, so since you just experienced a sample, tell me what direction you'd like me to answer your question, because I can go in a few different directions.
Okay, well, the conference is to give the opportunity for people to explore and sense all the many different ways that story can be used in their life and see how it applies in the very rich ways that it can help bring them to life.
Yes.
So in your experience, how have you seen story emerge and bring people to life?
What I do when I work with people is I combine a body-centered approach to freeing the physical energy in the body and then also people's creativity and expression. And I do that through a combination of transformational body therapy, working right on the body to free stored tension in the muscles, and also specifically to give people new dialogue, new self-talk that can be engaging to introduce a whole new quality of moving on to a life that's more fulfilling, more creative, often turning around their relationships with themselves and people in their lives in the process. So when I work, Andrew, what I do often then is to see myself as an archaeologist, to see 3 layers of what we deal with when we work with the body. And that is, there's the physical layer, where we have the surface tensions. Then the emotional layer, which is just one layer underneath that. All of the decisions, points of view, judgments that have been made over a lifetime that begin to crystallize and put into a particular form the color and character of a person's personality. And then underneath that emotional layer are buried even further the creative gifts. We all have a creative gift, whether it's the gift of singing a song, writing a poem, speaking a speech, caring for a loved one, a sick animal, dancing. We have such gifts that are buried inside. So as I see it, once we free the physical tension, out comes the emotions, often an outpouring of all kinds of emotions. And when directed towards the direction that a person would more prefer to move in their lives, then a person can take a whole new stand. Earlier, when I worked with you, and finding a new relationship to the foot, and the foot being a symbol of understanding, and the leg a symbol of trusting what I stand on, people, as I find it, are more able to free up their story or to reinvent their story of who they think they are by having this freed up energy in the physical body. Does that make sense, what I'm saying?
And how does it connect with muscle memory, stories and muscle memory? Could you tell a
good
bit
question.
about that?
One time, I remember, once upon a time, I was receiving a body therapy session from someone else, and they were actually working with me on the inside of my hamstring muscles here. Over the years, being a springboard diver and gymnast and acrobat and understanding with the body therapy, the words that are the conversations connected to releasing the tension in the muscles, I have come to an understanding that in the hamstrings, this is either a place that we hold really tight and as a way of keeping everything into control in our lives, or when we trust a fluidity and flexibility there, there's more a sense of, as my hamstrings become less high-strung, say that after me.
As my hamstrings become less high-strung,
I trust my vulnerability as my strength.
I trust my vulnerability as my strength.
Sharing my caring is my strength.
Sharing my caring is my strength.
My tenderness, the fullest expression of my humanity.
The fullest expression of my humanity.
My tenderness, my developing strength. And so my muscle was tight when this person was working on that part of my body. And I thought, what can I do? He said, you know, you're really holding that part of your body tight. And I thought, well, maybe I should practice my own medicine and say these words that I ask everyone else to when I'm asking them to retell their own story and their own muscle memory. And so I said just out loud once, my vulnerability is my strength. And then suddenly my muscle immediately relaxed, and the person said, what did you just do? Your muscle just totally relaxed. I told myself a different story in my muscle memory. It takes a split second to shift our awareness in that way. I'm holding my hand up with 5 fingers. You've got 5 fingers in your hand too. Mm-hmm. As you can see, as you can sense, if we can look at breathing, our relationship to letting go on the exhale, old patterns, receiving on the inhale, new patterns. Colors, pushing out dark as we exhale long, breathing in light as we breathe in strong, pushing out waters falling, breathing in sunrise lifting. As we allow sounds to come through, to parade and pageant through the landscape, as I describe it, sounds of relief, sighs of relief. That, along with stretching the muscles and having affirmations in rhyme, these 5 components, breath, visualization, sounds, deep stretching, and affirmations in rhyme all meet together in concert, synergize, and then the muscle memory can be immediately transformed in ways that are swift and long-lasting. That's how I see the revitalization, the transformation of an old story to a new story in how we reinvent ourselves and can, any moment, this moment, all the time in the world. So is this making sense?
Yeah, these are making lots of sense. So these are obviously very creative approaches. And could you tell a little bit about the people that you've worked with and for and throughout the world? I see your diary here is absolutely chockers, travelling all around the world. Could you tell a little bit about how do people connect with you, connect with your message and work with you and the different types of organisations that you've worked with as well?
That's a mouthful. I travel all around the world teaching this work. I feel in such grace being magnetized to people left, right, and center on the telephone and elevators, everywhere I go, that seem ready. What I notice, if I put it all into one simple sentence, is that at this time in our evolution of humanity, we are in more transition and change than ever before. And as a result, the people that I seem to attract the most, whether they be doctors, lawyers, psychiatrists, entrepreneurs like yourself, people who have a wonderful vision and are ready to bring it out to make a difference in their world in the way they know how, those who I work with the best and those who I seem to attract the most, both individuals and organizations, are those who are in transition. They've either lost someone, someone's just passed over, they've letting go of a relationship, they're moving on to a new way of being and a new career, but they can't quite make the shift with their self-talk. Mm-hmm. There's still the habit that we all have of clinging on, of holding on to the memory of what was before. And so when I come along seems to be exactly when a person is ready to move forwards in their life and to have the added support and enhancement of a fresh self-talk with the breath, the sound, the visualization, the deep stretching, and the affirmations in rhyme, which then comes along with a daily practice, a moment-to-moment joyful discipline that makes it easy for people to let go of the tears, the grief, the anger, the unspoken, the unresolved conversations, and take a new stand of command in this land. Organizations that I've worked with everything from 3M and some of the largest companies here in Australia. I've worked with many professional speaking organizations, spa organizations, beauty, health, fitness organizations, international conferences, as well as regional and local and national conferences. My passion is truly to work with people who are leaders, developing leaders, who are ready to make the world of difference in their own life, in their own body with those who are in their community, in their culture, in their country, to make the greatest impact and make this world a better place to live in.